This is Five Nights at Freddy's official character encyclopedia with over 150 animatronics from the world of Five Nights at Freddy's. Official. So, yeah, there's like a lot of them in here. It's from Freddy Fazbear all the way to Trash in the Gan. It's actually from locations. It's actually, that's not Trash. It's the locations from FNAF to Gregory, but like it's funny if I say that. So you click on the video to learn facts about these characters. Why don't we get started? The first fact is for Freddy Fazbear. And that shady behavior. It is titled. In Five Nights at Freddy's, Freddy's behavior is different from the other animatronics. He keeps to the shadows and is hard to see. If another animatronic is in the room, he won't be visible, but putting the camera on him will slow his progress. The next fact is for Glamrock Freddy. I choose these in random places, but like this is a coincidence, I swear. But his fact is bearer of good news. There are some situations where Freddy may lose control of himself if his power runs too low, or if he's incorrectly maintained in parts and service, he will jump scare Gregory. Although Freddy tells Gregory he can't leave the building, it is possible to get a happy ending for Freddy in this game. ... For the next one is Solo Survival for the Stitchwraith, a character appearing in Fazbear Fights, and is a noticeable shared appearance to Ennard, which I don't remember if I included him or not. But anyway, Soul Survival. When Andrew's soul was released from the Stitchwraith, the agonizing touch vanishes with him. Jake takes control of the Stitchwraith and comes into conflict with Eleanor. She is the true source of the agony and is trying to spread suffering across the world. He traps Eleanor inside the Stitchwraith and allows it to shut down in a ball pit within a delicate restaurant before moving on himself. Wow, there's a lot of Fazbear Fights references within the Stitchwraith stenos, apparently, because it talks about the ball pit and Eleanor. Anyway, now time for the next one. Lawbit's fact, which is the next one. Her fact is screensaver. Lawbit first appears in Sister Location as an Easter egg in the form of a mask that randomly swaps in the place of the Ennard mask inside the primary control module. He also turns up in that game's custom night, appearing on the computer screens. You can get rid of him by typing LOL. He makes a full appearance in Help Wanted, replacing Foxy in the dark rooms. Did not know that. That's actually a very fun fact that I did not know about her. The next one is Phantom Foxy, his says, vent your anger. Phantom Foxy's jump scare won't result in a game over, but it will disable the ventilation system, an ability shared by all the Phantom animatronics. It will need to be rebooted from the error menu. The error menu is, I think, the book saying the maintenance panel, whether they call it that, but anyway, this is just something I found funny because it's Phantom Foxy T-posing, and I like it when when stuff T-poses. I don't know why. I just find it funny. The next character is Old Man Consequences, whose fact is actions have consequences. If you set all characters to 0 and set Old Man Consequences to level 1, then catching a fish will take you to Old Man Consequence sitting by his lake. Come sit with me a while, he says. Leave the demon to his demons. Rest your soul. There is nothing else. This is actually a fact that I knew myself, but it's a very obscure fact, so I do not know how many people knew it beforehand. But hey, it's a fact. Okay, now it's time for CC, otherwise known as Crying Child. His fact reads, crunch time. On the 5th night, we see the tragic events at the diner on CC's birthday. His brother and his friends force the child's head into Freddy's mouth, where the child's head becomes stuck before the animatronic bites down. The final sequence suggests the child later dies of his injuries. The Fredbear Bush tells him, "You are broken. We are still your friends. I will put you back together." Fun little fact about that one. I don't think it really says it in the fact. No, it doesn't actually. I just read it, but no. Anyway, the fact does not state that the Fredbear, psychic friend Fredbear, as he's commonly known in the games, font color doesn't change, because it does in the game. It changes from a slightly darker shade of yellow, indicating that someone else is speaking, which is a fun fact because I knew that. So yeah. Hopefully the next one is lighter. Oh, this one is lighter because it's about Gregory. I still have not beat Security Breach. I beat Ruin though. That counts. No, really though. Anyway, Gregory's good ending is the name of the fact. In the ending where Vanessa is freed from Trap's influence, Gregory is seen outside the Pizzaplex eating ice cream with Vanessa and Freddy's detached head, forming a odd little family unit, a happy unit, a happy ending at last. You know what? I'm not going to say the fact that came to my mind because it's obvious if you play the game. But if you haven't, you can find a recreation of the Afrin family in Security Breach, which is a fun little fact. And Gregory may or may not be a robot, which I personally do think he's a robot, but this says that he's a human, so he's a human. Whatever. Okay, the next one is for RWQFSFASXCOAWQ for short. Yes, I felt like pronouncing that all right now. Yes, I had to look at the page title. So RWQ appears more common. Oh, wait, the back name is called Winner of Darkness. RWQ appears more commonly in other games in the series. He's part of a minigame in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and Ultimate Custom Night, where he can turn your office pitch black for around 10 seconds, and special delivery he spawns if you collect too much dark remnant. So yeah, that's for RWQFSFASXC. Hopefully the next one is a easier name to say. Oh, okay, the next one does have an easier name to say, as it's just Shadow Freddy. No other name like Shadow Bonnie or RWQ. So his fact set reads, so who is he? We don't know much about him. Will he turn out to be a crucial character in the ongoing mythology of Five Nights at Freddy's? Maybe not. Time will tell. Shadow Freddy also appears in the first 4 end-of-night minigames in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. In each one, you play as a different animatronic. Shadow Freddy says, "Follow me," then guides you through the pizzeria to a room where you are torn to pieces. I said that all in one breath, kinda. Okay, let's move on to the next one, who probably has a better name, but is still easier to pronounce. Okay, the next one is the Blob, so it doesn't have a better name, because it's just a name given by the community. Actually, no, I think it was given by the community because it was in his files, but his real name is Tangle, so yeah. But anyway, his fact is mix and match. Like Martin Freddy, the Blob may have its origins in an old, but with even more of the other characters combined into its body. It has the face of Funtime Freddy, and other visible parts come from Chica, Bonnie, Mango, Circus Baby, and the puppet. So maybe this is where they all ended up, ... But in actuality, it's not actually, because it's Funtime Freddy and not the Martin Freddy head. However, I do have a theory that this is actually still the next form of Enold, because it'll make sense, because maybe the next one, you'll see why, hopefully. The next one is about the Freddles. Of all characters, it's the Freddles. Anyway, bad combination. His fact reads: a bad combination. The three Freddles can fuse themselves onto Nightmare Freddy's bodies, but they don't seem to be controlled by their terrifying host, as they don't share his characteristics. They're far more playful and not nearly so aggressive. The next fact is on Dreadbear, which is ironically the page after the Freddles, so I didn't have to go for. Anyway, his fact reads: practicing mindfulness. Dreadbear must be assembled by you as part of the Spooky Mansion game mode. You need to set up his brain and make sure it will fit on his head and his set. Otherwise, the mindless Dreadbear will attack. The power keeps going out, and every time it's turned on, Dreadbear gets a shock. And if he's shocked 5 times, he'll attack. I still can't beat that one game mode. But hey, whatever, it's fine. Let's see what the next one is, shall we? How ironic. The one to end this all is Afton, or William Afton, but his name in Ultimate Custom Night is Afton. However, the name given by the community is Scrap. Just, I don't know, I call him Afton, but just because. Anyway, his fact reads: coming back again and again. Afton appears time after time in the novel trilogy, each appearance more disturbing than the last. What? That's it. That's it. I mean, the fact above it has enough substance, but that's it for him. The main villain of the series, that's his fact. Really? Whatever. I feel like I missed someone though. Yeah, I'll figure it out. As it turns out, I didn't miss anyone, apparently. But why are we on Freddy Fazbear's page again? Okay. So this is the last fact. Call it a bonus fact of sorts. Because this is how I originally wanted to structure it. However, none of these little texts at the bottom show anything worthwhile, so I just included this at the end of the fact list just because why not. So here's a Freddy Fazbear's bonus fact, which is actually a very commonly known fact, if I remember correctly. At least I know of it. So yeah, under some lights you can see a human handprint on Freddy's head. Where did that come from? So that handprint right there that you can see made everybody believe that Freddy was the person who did the bite of 87. However, we still don't know who did that. Seriously, it's still unknown to this day who did the bite of 87. However, I believe it's Mangle, because why wouldn't it be her? He's the one person who could do it. I mean, that's most obvious for them, isn't it? Anyway, I feel like I should film the outro now, so I'll go do that. And that's every fact in the Five Nights at Freddy's official character encyclopedia with over 150 animatronics from the world of Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, of course, it's not every single fact because the video will be over an hour long because I have to include over 150 animatronics from the world of Five Nights at Freddy's. From Freddy Fazbear to Trash Him Again. Actually, it's Freddy. It's actually Freddy Fazbear to Gregory, but like I'm doing the same joke as I did earlier. If you couldn't tell. Yeah. I thought I was gonna do Bone Trap, Glitch Trap, but it turns out I didn't. Would have been funny if I did, though, unless I missed them. But hey, there's always a chance for me to do a part 2 to this, and I could turn this into a series if this gets enough likes, that is. And if this is the first video you're seeing, cool. Subscribe if you want. I can't stop you. It's free after all. I don't remember where I got that from. I remember I got it from somewhere. I just can't place my finger on it. Whatever. Miami. Yeah, theory. But anyway. Yeah. There's enough content in here to make like at least like another so what, like 149 videos, which will take a long time, but like if done right I could probably do it, right? Actually no, it wouldn't be 149 because I did like how many? I'll figure out the math when I'm done, and I'll post it in a comment and pin it. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. What? So like, comment, and subscribe. And if this video gets to, it's an unrealistic like goal for my channel. No, no, that's too unrealistic. If I ask for 100 likes, 10. Let's go. If this video gets 10 likes, I will post a part 2 where I talk about a few more animatronics, and I might turn this into a series if you want me to do that, because I turn everything into a series essentially. Yeah. So yeah, that's my video about Five Nights at Freddy's, the official character encyclopedia with over 150 animatronics from the world of Five Nights at Freddy's! Exclamation point. I can't believe I didn't include that. That's like really there. You can see that right there. Like, exclamation point. Right there. Huh. Anyway. I didn't know there was a shadow balloon boy. Hey, that's great material for another video. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to end the video. Peace out and good luck. See you next one. Bye. It's totally a one-in joke of how long I can just say one the bye part from now, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Anyway, bye.